Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here, and it's still winter. We've got a winter gameplay update part 2 that dropped live, dropped last night or yesterday afternoon. So we've got to get across this one. I've already had the first glance. This isn't going to be like a read through type situation. We'll have it up on screen and we'll go through the main ebbs and flows of it, because one of the main, we were live yesterday, maybe looking ahead to midweek action and whatnot. Yeah, it was the midweek deadline, wasn't it? And one of the questions that came up from you guys in the chat was, what are you thinking about MLS, Quinny, for next season? And any thoughts that we did have now have a different lens to be put through, because we've now seen what MLS is going to look like for this season, as well as the J and the K League as well. If you are joining us live and loud, fist bump to you all. Be sure to smash the like button, of course. And if you're watching this after we've been live, fist bump to yourself. Drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the live chat as well, of course. Audience participation always welcome around here. Thoughts and feelings. Were you going to go after one of these leagues and now you're not, or vice versa? Were you maybe thinking about taking these leagues off, maybe sidestepping them, and maybe this has changed your mind? Let me know. But yeah, we've got tons to get stuck into. But I was reminded in the chat, or not reminded in the chat, but it was pointed out by SR Borough, who was in nice and early, that check the missions out. Now, I'm planning on going live tonight here on the channel at 6:45 when we get the Champions League team sheets coming out. And, we've got late deadline, we maybe chop some squads around. But the missions will be a big part, hopefully, for some of you guys. There's a mission per game. Now, all the stipulations are a little bit different. Some of them are about naff, to be honest with you. But I had a lot of fun actually plugging through this where I was waiting for the show to start. And, yeah, don't miss this. Limited rare. Does it go up to super rare? I'm not sure. Yeah, it does. Unique? Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, so plenty of midweek action to be going off, and we'll catch up with that later tonight. Got a little bit of essence here. I might do a wee card craft before we end the show today as well. I've got some XP to apply, so we'll probably do a bit of that as well. But yeah, let's have a look at the winter gameplay update part 2. Hot shots part 2. Now, there's lots in this. The full thing takes a fair amount of time to get through. Ultimately, the kind of headline is we're getting 3 new competitions. We're getting MLS, J and K League. And, my first thoughts with this, I'm not sure there's explicit clarification. Maybe some of you guys will know. Maybe I'll see it on second passing with you guys now on stream. But I don't think there's a classic counterpart for these. So it feels like the only classic utility you're getting out of your legacy cards from these competitions is All-Star, Under-23 and Arena, which is a bit meh. I quite liked classic MLS last season, but let's see how it goes. I do think this is a bit of an unusual one, because with there's a lot of essence that gets given out in this now, and maybe is it more essence, less essence, the same essence as like last season or whatever. We can maybe get into a bit of that as well, but otherwise, like, a lot of you guys have been chatting about where card supply is right now, and you would think having more of these cards available to the All-Star prize pool is a bit of a thing, but there is a big payout of essence from the streaks. So again, just a bit of a detail. I'm not too sure how all that marries together, but in my mind they're all quite adjacent to each other. Sorry, I need to mute this every once in a while. I've caught the sniffles. I might need to get some tissue paper if that keeps up. But the J League gets so this is brilliant from Sorare for me, to be honest with you. I think this was something that any J League aficionado that plays Sorare Fantasy Football was, mindful of. The J League is going through a major transition. It's going to be following the European calendar going forward after the World Cup. And because of that, as you can see, there's a full, check out the official J League website for the full terms. But they're doing a little kind of mini transition tournament, and Sorare are using this opportunity, I guess, to kind of test some things out with the J League specifically. And I think when you do the J League in this way, MLS got this last year, you kind of probably need to get the K League involved as well. And for me, the J and the K League, when it comes to Sorare, are very much on level with like the Belgian League in terms of, long-standing relationship with Sorare and kind of where it lies in the community, the zeitgeist in terms of legacy cards and old favourites and that kind of thing. It goes on to talk about Argentina, and we'll watch out for that, what happens, and we get a little card launch calendar. We're not too sure when the J League will be coming out, but we've got MLS on the 10th of February, which is pretty much on par with when it was last year. I think last year it kind of maybe happened about now is when we got early access, or we got no. I think this time last year is when we got this announcement. Because me and Charlie were looking at it the other day, but yeah, it's right on par with last year. And the K League there as well. Awesome. Gameplay enhancements. I think this is where it starts to get a bit more interesting. Yeah, so they're splitting everything. Now, there's two ways to deploy your teams now. At the moment, you play in season and you're chasing hot streaks and leaderboards. You've got divisions to wrestle with as well, and you can play up to 4 lineups per scarcity flat, right? And that's been fine. Now, this is totally different where hot streaks are only eligible by setting a team for hot streaks, and you can only chase the leaderboards by setting a team for that. My gut kind of instant reaction to this was it's kind of like the return to the cap 240 kind of premise, where it's like if you want threshold, if you want to chase the beat the game element, it's only like cap 240. Like, I know there was some okay cards in like the top 5 spots, but I think it was like it only paid out like top 10 or something ridiculous. It wasn't a well paying division. The whole part of that was play your cap 240 squad, which actually is something a point of relevance maybe later in this poll or this announcement, and get a set amount of money, which didn't climb with time, but it was just a kind of a rinse and repeat situation. So it's a little bit of a fallback to that, where it's maybe like almost like a cap 240, cap 270 situation. Obviously, the leaderboard has cash involved and all this. It's not a direct comparison, but that was my first thought when I seen this. And ultimately, what I want to see from this, which is going to be kicking off game week 50 and 52. J League starts a little bit later. It kind of goes into that. But we get more lineups now as a result of this. Some of you guys will know my strategy's kind of developed now to the point where I've got 4 limited teams populated by rares primarily. So the increase in utility here I quite like, but it won't actually benefit anything in Sorare 26 that I'm playing with. This would be brand new and exclusive to these leagues. Now, this time last year, we got the invention of hot streaks, maybe the development of some of the division stuff, and the in-season game model that we have played in Sorare 26 in the MLS last year is kind of the guinea pig. So I do think the success and the overall game enjoyment of this mode with these leagues is important to inform Sorare and us, like for Sorare 27. And again, there's kind of reference to that later on. I don't mind this too much, but let's see how it goes, because there is a lot of essence that gets given out. Now, if you remember from early in the season, I might be a little bit all over the place here, so bear with me. But if you remember early in the season, they did the boosted hot streaks. They're doing that again, of course. But a big part of even the classic strategies that I've been running on the channel, and a lot of you guys, Sorare scouts and managers that have been around the block once or twice, we're conscious of, and we're trying to, garrison or trying to reinforce further, was your classic strategy. Because rapid card acquisition early in the season is a strategy some of you go for. Is normally a clear route to success across the entire season, because once you're just in early and you're up and running, you get some early wins, particularly with bonuses and promotions on the go. Then as the season folds out and you get to like the level I've got to with the Celtic stuff, where I've got depth spilling out my ears, goalkeepers, everything except for midfielders, obviously. Then you've got, then you're set, you're rolling for the year, with whatever the initial outlay was in that kind of steeper part of the year. And that's something that Sorare is obviously trying to continue in terms of a market trend. But also, there's maybe a bit more carrot dangling in terms of, like, get your teams, stack up tons of essence and get crafting cards with the ones you've already picked up. Now, this Grand Prix thing, I heard Paul, Sorare Paul, what's his handle again? Paul on Position. Because he's a big Formula 1 fan, I know. And when you hear the Grand Prix chat coming out, I just felt that was a bit of him. And yeah, this is cool. And I like the fact with it's one of the things that I quite like about the Cap 240 and development that we've got with this hot streaks thing, is the more hot streak lineups hit, the more cash you're going to pull, which is nice, I think, isn't it? So if you do have a smasher game week, if you've really stacked a squad out, you've got duplicates, you can just collect, so then now you can only hit one hot streak for the 4 lineups that you've got. But if all 4 or whatever, however many you've got in whatever division you've got, hit it, then there's additional payouts over and above. And this is the example, I think, on the top payout, not anyone, the permanent essence Grand Prix. So that's like competition linked. They've done away with the whole 10 license club thing, which is cool. Super Rare and Unique are getting this as well. We've got instant reward claim, as we've expected. They're going to try no more divisions with this, which I actually kind of like. I think if you are separating and all the really this whole announcement, the reason, the justification, the communication, as good as it's ever been. Very clear, and there's a lot of foreshadowing here to, by the way, we're already thinking about stuff, so just you get thinking about it too, and we'll figure it out together at a later point. So yeah, on limited, so the lineups vary. There's a graphic for it, I think. Yeah, here we go. So everything's going up to 6 lineups. At the moment, we've got 4. So overall, everything's going up to 6, which is cool. The limited one, I think, is a bit weird, because like I initially thought when I seen this earlier in the announcement, okay, well, you're going to tailor make your squad. If you're on streak 1, you can put your best team into leaderboard, and then you can, just have 5 lineups or 4 lineups, whatever it was going to be. Farming to get yourself through the first couple of streaks and get you going, and then maybe later in the streak you put your stronger team in there, and that would be quite cool. But I think with limited only having 1, it really does, I don't know, does that make it easier to hit leaderboards? Because part of the but one of the observations with limited is just the volume of competition is much greater, isn't it? So that greatly stifles the field, I think, because any competition we've had for a long time now has been multi-entry. And we've seen limited competitions like with tens of thousands of entries every game week. And going down to 1 lineup could be interesting. It's a really tough decision metric, I think, that's kicked in here for really, unless you're going for streak 4 or 5, that leaderboard team, limited especially, only having 1, is a very interesting development. I suppose that'll mean more different people will win, because QTN's obviously became a bit of a champion of the community for how regular he's been doing it, but he has been the king of multi-entry. He has been covering all the bases, the best bases, double bases, duplicates, everything. And, you can still do that for hot streaks, which is still going to be a bit of a meta for that, isn't it? But in terms of, like, obviously there's no D1 element in this, but winning leaderboards, like maybe the random Burnley 5 and stuff like that, that kind of example, they can just win. Like, they will win, big XP, big collection scores, that kind of underdog having their day in the sun type moment. With Rare, I like the 4 and the 2 split. We get the same amount going for streaks that we currently do, which is fine. And having 2 lineups going in for a leaderboard, I think Rare, it just gives you a bit more flexibility. Is this them pushing us towards Rare a little bit more? I don't know. Because the way I'm kind of looking at this as well is, at the moment, I've got 8 lineups for Challenger in season across 4 Rare and Limited. And when I look at this, I think, right, well, that's taking 2 of those Limiteds and making them Rare now, which is not a problem. Some of them have been fine. I could put a little bit more effort. I kind of just smash those teams together for the most part, don't I? I could maybe take a bit more care. Maybe I could add a card or 2 in that type of situation, and it would be way more competitive. But I would still have a little bit of overspill in the current mould of the in-season strategy that I've been kind of sporting this year, to still then play those Rare and Limited thereafter, So in terms of leaderboard, does Rare kind of technically have 3? Because, like, maybe streaks is maybe a bit different. Do you really want, I don't know, we'll see the payouts and all that. But anyway, that was my kind of first initial thoughts and takes on it. Same kind of applies for super rares and uniques if you're really stacking up on volume, I guess, as well. The chat's flying away, by the way. Fist bumps to you all. Good to see you. Let me see what you guys are saying. Good morning to you all, by the way. 50k for first, so it's more. Morning. I need to catch up with what that means, sorry. 50k essence. Oh, okay. Is the payout for J&K League. That's pretty incredible. But it's so heavily flavoured, isn't it? As a J League lad, I'm happy, but not sure I'll buy in season for only 18 matches. Yeah, the prices will need to. But again, like, this is the thing you need to watch, because it is an open market. So if that's the consensus, the prices will probably make that, it's something I would be aware of. I would, if you're a J League fan, if you were planning on playing it, I think you still need to pay attention to the way the auctions go, because if a little cheeky 5-man goes under the radar for like a team you fancy, some guys have transferred, prospects, whatever, because it is only 18 matches, I don't imagine the price is going mental. I think a lot of passive, because the J League and the K League has always had like kind of tourist players, hasn't it? Those guys that come in for a couple of months in between leagues and whatever, and maybe it just kind of really sieves them out. if they're like Challenger day one prices and Premier League day one prices, then yeah, it's an absolute bumper, I think, unless you really streak your face off the whole way through. Glad it's covered though. Gutted it's left contender, yeah. Summer contender cards only been able to play in All-Star and Arena, yeah. That is sad. We think rares and supers be decent price. Yeah, I think like they could, by the way. Supers will be a funny one. I think supers could way go under the radar. I think, I think supers could be an interesting one. But I wouldn't mess about. Like, I wouldn't do budget. Like, if you could get in a range, like a tier 1 stack, a star stack or something like that, even better, like a team that won the league or something. But if you can get into like a tier 1 stack, then it's maybe worth, again, paying attention to. Because it will be quite a thin field, I would imagine. Only been sold in bundles. Ooh, I didn't know that. Thanks for the insight, Mikey boy. Yeah, Josh Cameron. So lots of essence. There is cash as well, obviously. Just trying to think if there's anything I've missed here, but I think the increased in utility is a good move in general. Something that I enjoy. Did I really get there with MLS last year in season? That was a bit more of a tame gallery. It wasn't really that bulging with depth and whatever. Maybe just about, but yeah, we'll see. So this is for limited. The first 2 streaks is essence only. So yeah, you need to get to streak 3 and above before you're picking up cash. But what that essence payouts will do, and as you'll see the little bubble beside it, that's the extra payouts if you get 2 teams or 2 lineups that's hit it. An extra 1,000 per time. So if you can come out of a MLS game week with 4,000 limited essence, if you get one good card out of that, that can be a big accelerator early in the season, to get into streak 4 and above and do well. Sorare Deek was on with Laird on the Sorare channel on Monday. I've not finished listening to that, but I've got most of the way through it, and Deek did very well with this stuff. And Deek is a guy who I think really took advantage of a lot of cards that just were not paid attention to. MLS last year did very, very well. And I think in that type of mould, equally, like if you know what's going on, and you can really just, wow, that just makes sense to get the super rare goalkeeper for 150 quid, or I don't know, I'm just making up prices. Super rare is obviously way more expensive. Then yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, the super rare essence only. I think that was part of the comment in the chat, wasn't it? So yeah, I guess you need other essence to wash against it, because it won't be all-star essence. It will be very segregated in that regard. But there will be leaderboards to chase as well, so I don't think you're building super rare, unique JK plays for the streaks. I think you're playing it for leaderboards, which is why I'm saying like tier 1, and you need to get good guys. You can't get like the mid-table team with a set-piece taker. Just maybe you can. Activity is good on Sorare, so mid-table teams can be very prolific. And then yeah, Essence Grand Prix for MLS. If you hit 480 points, everyone that does it shares in 200,000 essence, which is nice. Same with J and the K. And is there not one at rare? Okay. Oh, okay. Details on other scarcities can be found in the prize blog. Got you. Okay. And then super rare and unique, they kind of pick what they want. That's what it's saying there. Okay, so this is the MLS leaderboard prize pool. Yeah. So no divisions. Top 50 at rare is where you get paid. You're really looking at top 5 and above is where it's exciting. Super rare is actually quite appealing, by the way. Obviously, you've got those max slots on the other side of super rare and unique, because if you have in-season uniques, you get bonuses on your payout and such. So if you had a unique 5-man stack, you would get 12.5k for winning. And even for coming in 20th, you would get 300. Wow, by the way, man. Yeah. If you can get a well-priced stack that can just regularly finish top 20, never mind anything exuberant above that, then that could be cheeky, by the way. That could be cheeky. At limited and rare, the leaderboard isn't exciting unless you're looking at the top 5, really. The rest of it's a bit meh burger. I think this will take... Yeah, you're only going to play your strongest team in this if you're on streak 1 and 2, I think. If you've got a good team. They may get their picks. They may not get their picks either. Just stay early access. Yeah, there's a delay with J-League, isn't there? XP rewards are no longer part of leaderboards. Except for arenas. They will now be rewarded more frequently through daily missions. Great. Hot Streak 3x promo to start everything off. So everything we just looked at is free multiplied for the first 5 game weeks. So you have like one chance to go all the way through it, I think, don't you, really? And if you fall off, you've got a few attempts to get to number 3 and that kind of thing, 1 and 2. So that's fun. This is the one for Rare. Rare's probably more appealing because it gets into cash quicker. So even if you aren't going to hit the full 5, could you get to 4? Could you get to 3? It's still quite interesting, I think. Even number 1 a couple of times, If you did number 1 3 times in that period, like 1, like hit, miss, hit, that wouldn't be too bad. Wouldn't be great, obviously, but you'd come out with some cards at the end of it. They're super rare and unique. DNP discussion. Now, this basically says they've looked at lots of stuff, they've really engaged with the community, and they're not going to do anything. And I really like this stance on it, where if they do a DNP solution, they kind of want one that sticks and one that works, one that fits in with everything. They'll probably test things out in specials, and there's more about specials here as well. Special events back on an occasional basis, once or twice per month. Leaderboard per scarcity may offer rewards, XP, crafting clues, and essence. Stay tuned. Scoring matrix, they're looking forward, and they might be making changes to it. The number one thing we want is the whole parity between, like, if you get error, if your guy gives away a penalty, like I think we really just want the guy that wins the penalty to get the penalty one decisive action, even if the penalty is not scored. I think that's the number one thing that we want, because otherwise, I don't think you want to remove like penalty conceded from a defender, because they have gave away a penalty that should be marked, that should be thought of. But the guy, if someone's won a penalty and then the scorer misses it, like they should still get penalty one. That's number one. Goalkeepers we spoke about before. I still don't mind the idea of goalkeepers getting double doubles or triple triples in some capacity. And I think there was something else for goalkeepers, wasn't there? They should test subs someday. Yeah, I think they're going to test everything in specials, but I don't think they want to do it as like, oh, we're doing it all season for MLS, because that's just, they've not got anything that they're confident in or anything that completely makes sense. So I'm with you. I think they will test everything this summer, but it will be in specials only, which is a really good move, I think. And then any other scoring matrix changes, let's just make sure we talk about it, post about it, discuss it, and let's see what we can get done for the better of the game. Essence and Crafting, Card Factory will remain open. Everything's going to change 10th of February whenever it comes to L10. We've also got the winter set coming in as well, and card crafting availability. Yeah, so sorry about the sniffling, guys. Before crafting, we recommend checking available competitions and all that other stuff, so we need to constantly check that now. A quick reminder, in part 1 of the winter gameplay, we shared our breakdown of how Essence will transition from 26 to 27, and to be clear, standalone leagues beginning in early 26, specifically MLS and K-League, will not be impacted by the Essence conversion, as they will be mid-season when it happens. So if you hold 12,000 or 1200 MLS Essence, you'll still have 1200 MLS after the transition, which is just going to greatly further dilute your contribution of Essence in that initial Sorare 27 period if you're playing these leagues still. Collect missions, so this will be fun as well. Looking forward to getting more details on these and seeing how they unfold. Milestones unlock rewards tied to specific collection challenges, more value to building, which is good. I hope this is like clues and Essence, market credits would be good. Even just like a bonus card or a special edition or something like that. Like, it would be nice if well, MLS is maybe a wee bit easier to designate, because you could do it with like complete an MLS collection and like get whoever the captain is turns into a special edition, or the DP of the team. Could do something like that. Maybe that's a wee bit too much, but stay tuned for more. That's cool. Ceiling is going to change a little bit. Harry Trades is ruffling in his chair. New tiering test that we've seen already with the common stuff, and we're changing everything to L10s, which is great. And then the whole L15 is 0 thing, again, is kind of explained here. It's not too exciting. And that's kind of the end of it. Now, will I be playing MLS? I would like to. I'm very much... Can we see anything on the calendar here? Not yet. I kind of would like to play MLS again. I probably won't be able to help myself getting some New York cards because I'm just a fool that way. One classic card can be played. The leaderboard sucks. It is really for, like, in terms of like what I would be playing MLS for. I don't think I'll have a team that, like, if I think about the way I've built the Celtic strategy and Challenger this year, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I think doing that for J League would take a big commitment, and I don't think many people will go for it. But again, you might be the only horse in the race to some extent. So there's some interesting opportunities there. I think anything you want to do there that's sneaky, you really need to be committed to. You really need to, and the thing with higher scarcity cards, less so with rare, but certainly with supers and above, is like they are NFTs. You know, like if there's a top goalkeeper in the division or a top whatever, like the other guy is not going to be the same for you. If he plays for a different team, if the defense, you know, like you need to be careful with that stuff. Too many people get committed to an idea and then make do with pieces, and then that's ultimately the downfall of it. Sometimes those players can work out, don't get me wrong, but for the largest part, like, it needs to be like, you need to nail it, I think, to be confident, and for me to even be comfortable in saying it could work, you know. So yeah, I probably will play it, to be honest with you. I think New York will be cheap enough, which is probably something that goes for me. Penalty 1 is in the Matrix. You get free AA even if it's missed. Yeah, so penalty 1, I think you keep it. It's a decisive even if it's missed. But everything stays the same. Yeah, nothing changes for Sorare 26. This is only for MLS J and K League, and it's probably a test for what they want to do for 27, or what they're thinking about they could do for 27. Because again, we had this last year. With MLS, and I quite liked it, to be honest with you. MLS last year, I didn't do that great. I've not really done the maths on the season. I probably just about broke even, maybe not quite. Mat Freeze was quite expensive, but I won a second in-season Mat Freeze, so maybe kind of half the dollar cost average on it. Depends how you want to think of it. I've had some transfers to MLS as well. Can I do MLS filter? Got that Captain Sullivan. He might play this year, actually. Yeah, Werner's not officially been moved on Sorare yet, has he? Yeah, but Muller moved, and I'm not sure if I've got anyone else in the season or anything. But I've got goalkeeper options, certainly. Plenty of goalkeepers, so if I just got in-season outfielders, I would have more than enough. But then I've got all these outfielders that would be... it's just All-Star I'm really using them for, I guess, isn't it? Which isn't a bad thing. But I think if you want to attack this division, it would be better if there was a classic mode, so then you can just play your MLS guys, get MLS essence, and play MLS. But I guess they need those rewards in the All-Star. So your CT4's done the math on super rare. Yeah, especially if you hit... Actually, yeah, I seen that. Somebody told me that. Is it back to Houston as well? That should be good. So yeah, I'm going to be tempted if the prices are right, you know, and I think New York is, again, just that's the team I'll buy into, no doubt. Quite an under the radar squad for what that's worth, you know. But if you're thinking about going after Messi's and Sons and everything, again, like, that's very much even one of those guys is captain. They do a lot of heavy lifting for you. I don't know. I think for MLS it's quite okay. I think for J League it's a kind of tough swallow on 18 matches to really go full depth. K-League, a bit different. Obviously, the World Cup's going to come in the middle and interrupt it all. And what that really has significance for MLS is transfers, ins and outs. So teams could be ripped apart. You never know. Not that there's that many. But I suppose, yeah, like the Americans themselves, there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a fair amount in the league. Thinking about Diego Lunas and Jack McGlynn's, Mat Freeze. There's a lot of guys like that in the league where if they have a good World Cup, they can move to Europe for the new season. He'll have in-season cards for a wee while, which is nice, I suppose, but it'll undo a strategy potentially. So it's they're neither one of them are without their risks. But I think the MLS one's maybe a bit easier to manage. I've got the Spurs Son card, nice, classic with Messi in season. That's a lovely sounding play, Neil. Messi and Son. There seem to be the two picks for everyone, and for good reason as well. Who signed Bogus? Was that Houston as well? Houston might be sneaky. McGlynn, Bogus, and Achi. But yeah, Son being Son. So yeah, I'm rather looking forward to this. I think it'll be good. Because I think if you can do it, let's have a look at the. I'm looking at rare for myself selfishly. Yeah, I'm not too sure how well I can expect like an NYC thing to do or whatever, but like hitting streak 3, like NYC, if I could get the whole stack, like the starter stack, for under $300 and then hit it, then I know from how well we did last year that could be. Yeah, I think this was kind of half the objective last time, wasn't it? I'm getting a bit of deja vu hitting back to me here. Limited, yeah, you really need to get the streak 3 was where the money comes in. You really need to think about streak 4 because limited's early season can be. And I think that's part of where the opportunity is with the upper scarcities is so much attention goes to limited and rare that super rares can very easily go under the radar. If Pranksy's not bothering, if McBride's not bothering, if Nanzo and all these other guys, I don't know, I don't really keep up with the the super rares too much anymore, but if all these guys don't really pay attention to it, then look at what Harry's did with, and I know he's not like won divisions and all the rest of it, but that Oviedo build with like a Yamal classic, you know, replicating that sort of thing at this level, because you can get classic uniques and stuff, you know, and some of them might not be too hard to get or too cheap. Maybe after this announcement, there's a wee bit more demand. That's maybe changed overnight, fine. But not by much, you know. And initially, like when there's a spike in demand, I think people can be greedy on price, but when it wanes, people become reasonable again, you know. So I wouldn't rule anything off if people are being a bit steep, as you find them at the moment. But yeah, no, I think that's quite appealing. And then even out with the doubling, yeah, I'm not going to be playing. I don't think I'm going to be playing leaderboards at all with MLS. Yeah, this is fine. Like getting to streak 3 a couple of times wouldn't be too bad. Did I get to streak 3? I think I maybe done it once with MLS. I think I did do it once. Yeah, so not unimaginable. And then again, you get additional lineup payouts, which for NYC that would be a good benefit because sometimes, like when they did hit, you know, like 2 of the 3 of the lineups scored quite well, even though they didn't score regularly well, you know. So having a wee double up effort, that's nice. 380 points for Super Streak. Yeah, it probably is quite easy actually, because there are multipliers and such are involved, aren't they? So yeah, that probably is pretty piece of pissy. Yeah. Wonder where it gets like actually hard. Is it step 4? I don't think 440 with supers is that hard, is it? Captain bonus and all that. The Grand Prix thing is cool. It's double in MLS what it is for J&K. Maybe missed that detail first time over. But yeah. Aye. It looks good. And I like a lot of the way this is put together. The DNP discussion, the scoring matrix, nod. I really, it's a big read. There's a lot in it, but I think this is a really good announcement. I like the move to L10. That's fine. I would also like on this note as well, Sorare, like to have season tabs. Like see when it's maybe a little bit selfishly just because of the sort of content I make or whatever, but genuinely it is something that Sorare as a website could benefit from, where it's great having all this, but see if we could also have season here, and you could have 25-26, 24-25, and you could just highlight it as such. It would just be really nice, you know. It would be really nice. And if we could just have like a league stats page of like who leads in the interceptions, who leads in all the stuff. Again, Sorare's a website would just do better. When I do Celtic content and I'm using this to like scout players, everyone's like, wow, this is a cool website. What is this? And there's just too many kind of rubbish limitations with it where like you want to see it per season. Current season, historic seasons, L10s and all this stuff, totals and per 90s. This is cool. All this is great. Nothing wrong with any of it, but we just need additionally a season tab. And can we get a league overview and maybe even a global overview of who leads in interceptions for the 25-26 season, etc. Look at the full prize pools blog. Oh, have I missed that? Where's the link to it? Is this it? No, this is the essence breakdown, isn't it? Right, let's see. There'll be a wee underlined thing for it somewhere. Yeah, where is it? Is it at the bottom, maybe? So it's the worst thing about when you've got when you've got the sniffles is breathing's a pain in the ass. Is it in this blog? I just scrolled past it. It's top of the prize pool section. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm looking for the wee bit where it's underlined for the link. Yeah, I did this, but it's not. There's no links here. Ah, Andreas, thank you. Let's have a peek. Hot Streaks for Limited. We've already nosed at this. What else is there in this? Oh, we do have Grand Prix. Oh, we do have it for rare. Okay, brilliant. 520 points. That's nice. Okay. So yeah, even if you smash, I think the whole point of that is if you smash on streak 1, isn't it? So that's quite cool. Yeah, how many people will be hitting that? Probably not many. But if there's like I'm thinking about this in a European context. If Bayern rip it, how many Bayern stacks are taking this? You know, maybe it gets diluted a bit more in Europe compared to these leagues, perhaps. That's kind of fun. We've kind of seen this as well, haven't we? K-League. Oh yeah, is this in season? Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Don't think we're doing this, are we? You would need to be playing with. Oh yeah. With J League, I get it. With K League, they're not doing a wacky wee mid tournament, are they? Yeah, if only one person hits it, you get everything CT4. On that game week, it's everyone that hits it gets a share of it. Trent, good to see you, my man. So yeah, the sneaky kind of, oh, could you... yeah, I think it's only really super and unique you can really look at that for. There's no payout for cash in them in the streaks, so it's very much a in-season classic dynamic that's coming into just in-season, which is interesting in itself, isn't it? New gameplay interface will be released MLS. First 2 J-League match days are specials. Leaderboards only. Oh. Okay, cool. That's the J-League stuff for the first couple of match days. Fine. K-League is just normal, yeah. That's kind of naff, isn't it? Hot streak, first 5 game weeks, then split over 1 team in each. Is my plan at Rare and Super. And K-League. Yeah, interesting. I think you need to be able to wash all that essence though once you get it. So you need to be able to... who's it that does it? Laird mentioned him. Yippee Kaye. Is it him that's the master of it? Take the 30k essence and then just arena your face off through the World Cup or something. Ooh. By the way. Yeah, there's a thought, by the way. Just stack the essence to wash it through arenas and World Cups going into Sorare 27. They did say there is going to be a change in the essence, didn't they? Cash wallet blocked for a few days. Happens to traders quite a bit, doesn't it? Must be a pain in the right backside. Speaking of crafting, guys, I've got a wee card to craft myself. Do we have a giveaway card? Oh, not quite. Not quite. I'll do the giveaways. Today's Wednesday, isn't it? I was planning on doing members today. Champions League at 5:45. Yeah, I think I'll also try and do members. I'll probably need to Livies and Levies shortly on this one. And yeah, we'll come back for members. I was thinking about 4, but that may be a bit too close to Champions League. It's 11:45 now. Maybe I'll come back at like 2 and do members until like 4, and then Champions League. Yeah, I'll probably do that. What's the note on the match days? Oh, sorry, I kind of glossed past it. I'm sorry. It's the same game week, isn't it? Game week 50. It's the same game week structure. It's just that J League for the first 2 will just have its own special with no hot streaks rather than the format we've just had laid out for us here. 6 teams playing in game week 50. 14 teams playing in game week 51. 2 teams playing in game week 52. They'll be playing each other. 18 teams playing game week 53. So, yeah. First one's kind of split. Is that maybe what you guys said? Yeah. Yeah, you need to watch how those fixtures pan out. You need to be quite cute with that. Yeah, Andreas is right. All 3 leagues have been exempt from it. They still fall under Sorare 26, I think. Is the way it goes. So let's see. Rules and eligibility. Available comps. We need to check that now, apparently. Prem is in here. Bundes is in here. La Liga. SPFL. Turkey. Portugal. All the ones I kind of care about. That's fine. Essence, we have All-Star, Champ and Chally. Mainly All-Star, which is fine. Don't have any clues up my sleeve. I've got more than enough essence. I've got enough essence where if this is a good room, we're jamming. If you've not done so already, smash the like button. It just increases our chance of getting some good cards. Sorare own and control the internet. They love the content here at Quinny 3001 and they want to see you supporting the content. So smash the like button just means we'll get a better chance of a card, and it means you'll get better luck this game week as well. Plenty of stuff to get stuck into. Smash the like button. Let's get the luck up. Get the luck up. Take your phone out your pocket, change the tab on your screen, whatever it is you need to do. Smash that like button. Let's draw some cards. Please be a good room. Standard. Okay. Just hit a wee league reveal. Oh, wow. That was a lot of all-star essence, and we've got 4 prem picks. I'm going to spend on nationality because of how champ heavy that is, and I've got the essence because why not? Oh, wow. This is German. That could be worse. Venezuela. Congo. France. That's Alderti, isn't it? Senegal, Ligue 1. Right, guys, what do you think? Shout stuff at me. Caicedo. Venezuela, no, he's Ecuador. Venezuela. Right, let's just go to the market. Market. Prem. Manager sales. In season. Prem. And where are we? Nationality. Venezuela. Nobody. Wan-Bissaka. Is that Congo maybe? Wissa. It's probably the best one there, yeah. Wissa is the best case. Dutch in Ligue 1. Is that good, maybe? Venezuela's a weird one. Why is there no Venezuelans in the Prem? Senegal, Paraguay. Yeah, that's Alderti. I'm quite confident of that. That's like Wissa at best. Senegal Ligue 1. Let's look at German Prem quickly. See what comes up from that. Also, my mind just goes straight to Wirtz. But who else is there? Because it's not just him. Walter Mada. Janelle. I wouldn't mind Janelle. I might need to pick it because it could be Wirtz. Havertz would be funny. Yeah, quite a big range on that. It's probably the best one, but like Wirtz's upside. France obviously could be Dembele or something, couldn't it? Oh, do I want to maybe do highest tier? Do I maybe want to do this stupid thing? Timber at Marseille. The new West Ham player, the Venezuelan one. Did I do this highest tier thing? Yeah, let's do it. 5-star. We have a 5-star in here. Now, it could be, I know it's not Fitz, right? But it could be like some wacky guy here. This could be Wanizek. This could be Dembele or something. Who's the Senegal Ligue 1? It's probably a batch of them. Yeah, I don't think it's that interesting, is it? So it's between France, and German Prem. Yeah? Right, let's pull it up. What would you do? And I'll try and read. Where's the 5-star cards? Oh. So we're saying 7 or 8. Let's have a wee glance over these now. Yeah, do you know, these rares are not... Ooh. Who could be the 5-star? Wiss is not 5-star, is he? Yeah, I'm not really getting anything from these cards, by the way. I don't know if it's because the sun is in the room. It's maybe taking a wee edge off things. It's going to have to be one of these two. What one would you pick? I think the Germany one... I know there's more than Dembele. I want to just have a wee peek. Who is there more than Dembele? Dewey. Yeah, Desert is just tons. Yeah, that is a real minefield. France, isn't it? We've got a wee poll in the chat. Who would you be going for? It will be Sorare CT4. It's going to be Wanizek or something, isn't it? That's going to happen. It's not a star, Quinny. Why? Highest tier is 5-star. It's a tier 1 at best. Would go German. Oh, okay. So is it? Oh, because is it like needs to be gold stars or something? Is that what we're talking about now? I missed that memo. Right, let's do it. We hope for Wirtz, but at least if it's Waltamada or Theo or Janelle, we'll be happy. Whoever's came up with that. Oh wow, Diego Leon was the Paraguayan, not Alderti. It's a mild surprise. That is a terrible room. Terrible room. I am borderline speechless with that. That is rank, isn't it? Objectively Bamba Dieng is the best card there. No way I'm keeping that. That is actually minging. Oh, this gave me the heebie-jeebies, by the way. We're all in agree. Oh no, it was a 50-50 poll, by the way. 50-50. There was no... Weiss is actually a good keeper. Pierre, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. And yeah, a wee bit away from having a limited one there. Awesome. Right, okay, we're going to have a busy day on the channel. I've also got to do a wee bit of bits and bobs as well besides what we've got here. But yeah, today's going to be a mad one. We'll come back for members around probably the 2 o'clock mark, give or take either side, 10 20 minutes maybe. So if you want member action, that'll be then. We've got giveaway cards to sort out. We'll do that then. And then we'll be back for Champions League lineups being out at 6:45 for a wee bit of a scramble session before the games kick off. So yeah, look forward to seeing you for all that. Thanks everyone who tuned in today. Let me know in the comments section when the stream ends, you know, what are you going to do? MLS, K&J, thoughts and feelings. You're going to try and be sneaky? Are you staying away from it? You're going to try and maybe get some essence to wash? It could be fun. Let me know. And yeah, I'll see you later on anyway. We'll talk about this in more detail. I've got no doubt of that. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one.